welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is May 22nd, 2022. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. And I'm very excited to be here with Lewis. How you doing, sir?
I am doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Been a good day, man. I'm fat and happy.
I'm guessing you ate a lot.
Ate 2 dinners, thanks to my mom.
2 dinners. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, as you can see, I'm literally fully recovered from last podcast, where
you sound fantastic, man.
I know, man. It was a rough one there for a week, but we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. Don't forget to remind everybody we are part of the Professor Network. Check them out every single day, every single time. Wonderful people to work with. We may be planning something for GoFest, so that's actually going to be pretty cool. If, we can all make it, but that'd be cool. All right. How you been, brother? I mean, this week has been interesting, to say the least.
There's a lot of great news.
Yeah.
And, finishing up the Water Week was awesome.
Yeah.
I can definitely say I've been playing daily, which everybody logs in and gets their streaks. I feel like sometimes I forget to spin a stop on my day off. It happens, but I can say it's been a lot more fun. I feel like to play, especially with the water event. At least for me recently, it felt like every single Pokemon had a shiny chance. Basically.
Yeah, it's been
and. That's something that gets me excited.
Yeah. The definition of how this event has been, or was at least, was actually pretty good, especially since now we are coming into a part in Pokemon Go's history that everything can be shiny at one point. And not everything will be yet, but literally, if you look at the spawns right now at my house, you can see that every single one of the clicks that I can do are shiny possibilities. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's just that now the game has flourished into a way that we can actually enjoy just a little bit more instead of just having like mediocre spawns or things like that. The seasons, the events, everything has been basically dialed out to 11, where the events could be good, or dialed out to 1 and be like, we don't know what to do with them at the end of the day. But there's definitely a lot of changes that Pokemon Go is starting to do to go back to that aspect of the game where we know that we want to bring the community together. And don't forget about this. I'm actually going to write down in the notes right now. Because if not, I'm going to forget.
Yeah, dude, that is big news, yeah.
Yes, but we'll definitely talk about it in the news section. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about this week. So I'm glad that we're able to actually get the podcast ready going and hear what we are. But first and foremost, let's not forget, let's get into our Shinies hauls of the week. Shiny handles, PvPs. What you got, Chris?
I will say I did not get many shinies from the water event specifically. I only got one, and it was a repeat while I was in the line at McDonald's.
Oh my god!
It was it was a shiny Magikarp. I was like, okay, I'll take it. Definitely wanted to get the Lapras. There was, I believe I hatched.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So, I think my internet died at one point. You talking about things? Let me see how the stream is going. My internet died. Yep. No. Yep.
It looks like it's on now.
It is now. And I don't know if anybody else still here. I'm sorry. I mean, thank you so much for joining us. I think my internet literally died a couple of seconds here and there.
The game said no.
I know. It's back? It's back? Okay, thank God. All right. Well, that's what happens when, you try to stream throughout a thunderstorm or something because, it's been raining all around and everything. So it makes sense. I'll get everything back up again in just a few minutes here for everybody. But let's go back a little bit because, I wish I actually had that alert going here. Let's go back a little bit of what happened. Let me see if I can reset everything else here. So give us just a few moments, guys. But
Yeah,
Chris,
we're not lying when we say we live in Florida.
that's for sure. Chris, go ahead and tell me what happened after the McDonald's shiny, because everything else
Yes.
really like I literally lost you
The
right there.
McDonald's shiny Magikarp. So after that, I was really excited because I got a very good IV um, Poplio, and I'll be honest, I got wrecked by a oh my gosh, I can't remember its name. The what's the evolution of Poplio all the way? It's my least favorite starter out of all the Gen 7.
Uh, uh, the evolution of the Primarina?
Primarina, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I got wrecked by that in Master League, and I have a tendency to copy things that devour my soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to start using Primarina, and it was working great. You know, I was going 5-0 for like the first 2 days, and then all of a sudden everybody started leading with um oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name too. Escadrille. Everybody was using him in the lead, so I was like, okay, what am I gonna do?
Oh no.
So I started leading Garchomp, and whenever I led Garchomp, I'd face a Primarina. Whenever I'd lead Primarina, I'd face an Escadrille. It was horrible.
Right.
But yeah, eventually I just settled on a different team. It was just hilarious.
Oh,
But I will say Primarina, top tier pick right now. Very excited about that.
good, cool.
But let me check really quick now that my game's finally loaded.
Yeah, and hopefully we're not like that here. So yeah, we're good. We're back up, guys. Technical difficulties as always.
Oh yeah. I think yeah. I got my birthday shiny right after last stream. The next day I got my birthday shiny, the shiny Shadow Drowsy.
Nice.
Other than that, just had the Calm Day shinies. Should we talk about the?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
I
go
guess
ahead
we might
because
as well.
we're talking about. Well, right now we're talking shinies and hundos, but I know we're gonna recap both on the water event and the community day anyway. So
Yeah, I got 3 Cheeto Puffs.
Cheeto.
So that was cool.
This is a hot Cheeto ones, right?
It's spicy, crunchy.
Or no, they're extra cheesy.
Cheesy.
Extra cheesy.
Yeah. I was pretty excited to get some more, honestly,
Nice.
because I traded like my only one to Shay's son.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, dude, when am I gonna get another one? I'm never gonna get another one. And then they announced this Calm Day, and I was like, okay, I get to finally load back up.
Well, surprisingly enough,
So
I
that was
actually didn't have any shiny Lowland Geodudes before this event.
Really?
I never really got any. Like, I wasn't actively looking for it, I guess. But just because I never really hatched that many 7K eggs back when they were... I mean, I hatched a lot, but I never really got it until now. But yeah. So is that all of it for now?
Yeah, that was pretty much it, other than some PvP Pokemon. Let me just do a quick look. Yeah, no, I think the coolest thing other than that was a really well ranked Great League Dewpider. Other than that, not too much, honestly.
Right. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, as for
What
me,
you got?
so I did go almost the full community day. Now, yesterday, at least yesterday's community day, even though it was cloudy, it was hot as effing hell. Like, I cannot believe how humid it was, even though the sun was not shining directly into me. Like, still, it was just like I could not walk maybe 10 steps and then just be like literally like dripping sweat through my entire body. But that's how, Florida's community days can be at one point.
Yeah.
So I went ahead, went to community day. Pretty nice. Started getting shinies. Unfortunately, my phone was overheating a lot. And I'll get that fixed eventually. But the problem is that I couldn't see the screen half the time because my iPhone has the capability of every time it overheats, the lights go off or like the lights diminish to a point where I can barely see the screen. So most of my shinies were caught during just the Gold Plus going around. So I went ahead and just let the Gold Plus catch most of everything. And it wasn't bad of a haul. I did get... that's 12 shinies actually. So that's not bad. Actually, no, I got a little bit more because I did transfer 3 to home. So...
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I thought you
I did
sent
get
them to the nether region.
No, I transferred into home, so 15 shinies in total, since I know that's the 3 that I truly transfer. So yeah, one of them actually was I think it was a rank 6 in Great League, a shiny golem. So
Yo!
that's pretty good. As for
yeah, that's fantastic.
Right? Now, I didn't get any Hondos. I did had a Hondo before that, so that's actually pretty good. But as for the golems, I did actually get quite a bit of a good ones around between rank. It was between the first 10 ranks. Most of them were, both for Ultra and Great League. So I actually had a pretty good haul and everything like that. Yes, love it. That's what you have now. The power on our streams. So make sure you use it well. But yeah, so it wasn't a bad community today, aside from just the insane humidity that we had. Yeah, I know, right? That being the case, it was still fun. I did gain a lot of experience during community day. Not experience, but a lot of Stardust. I went from I'm already at 10 mil, but I was in the range of 10 mil, 250,000.
Okay.
But then when community day boost me up to 10 mil, 600.
Yo!
So I was like,
dust.
I was catching a lot. And plus, the bonuses the community they had was if you play enough in one area with lures around, the 4 times gets activated. Plus the star piece, you get like 4.5, I think something around that in Stardust. So every catch was at least 600 Stardust at the base level, plus the everything else on that. So again, super good community day for that. There is another announcement, though, that I had this week that is actually very important. And that is that I actually, if you already haven't seen, I reached level 50 in Pokemon Go. Woo! Finally! Where's the
Big
horse?
boy now.
But yes, I finally reached the final levels. I was like grinding for the experience. I think it was Tuesday. I did an evolution party during Magikarp's Spotlight Hour. And I was like 500 million away, or not 500 million, but 500,000 away from experience from just getting there. So I put up the stream on Wednesday. I started doing raids. I did maybe 20 raids that night. Between Laprases and Tapu Finis. With Lucky Exo, just keep going and going. Luckily, it was raid hours, so I knew the raids were just coming in. But I just kept going and going until the end. It took me at least another 3 hours just to get the final experience. I had the bot of it. Unfortunately, I was using a song, which was, is the final countdown. That song that I wanted to actually put in there. And Twitch just muted that entire area. So I was like...
Twitch doing Twitch things,
oh
man.
my god, I was like... And it was perfect. It was like the perfect moment when I actually reached level 50 because the song was playing throughout the raid battle of Tapu Fini. And by the time I got Tapu Fini, like the song was like at his peak or at his end. So when I reached level 50, like the song really ended right there. So it was like the moment off. And I can't watch it anymore because of Twitch. Like, why? What do you do? I know it's copyright. So I mean, I put myself in that situation. I'll try to salvage it and maybe do a TikTok or something. Just that way, at least, it sounds a little bit better. At least TikTok is a little more lenient when it comes to, copyrighted and all that. But yeah. Level 50 in Pokemon Go, it is a long time coming. I've been grinding for a while. If I actually remember correctly, the level 50 level up was actually introduced back in November of 2020, and that's when it actually came out. So it took me a little over a year, which is not bad. I wish I would have done it a little bit sooner, but the last few levels, or at least the last level, I was grinding as least as much as casually that I could until I was reaching the end of it. Now, during double experience, double between the catches and the evolutions and things like that, I just try to pull through and just grab as much as I can. But yeah, that's my announcement. That's pretty cool. Now level 50. I mean, I can always say that at least I grind out this game as much as I love to because of that. So, Chris, where are you at
Yeah, it looks clean, man. Where am I? No, I'm joking. I'm currently sitting at 16,890,918 XP out of 25 mil for level 48.
Okay.
So I still need like 8 million to get out of level 48.
Did you?
The worst part is I still need to do 44 lucky traits.
Oh my god.
But, yeah. So once I get to like the last 5 million, I'll probably, start rounding up people for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. So it's something that we probably have to get you going. Now, one thing that I did, or at least something that my friend was doing, was just doing a lot of trades, like whatever trades I can get. It was actually pretty good because that actually helped me get to level 49 to just get as many luckies as possible out of 100 trades. Mm-hmm. And it was like day to day, and luckily, because my friend it also works with me, so he just sometimes takes my phone and be like, just trade me whatever I have at the moment or something like that, So
yeah,
so it kind of helped out. So that's not too bad. I think that I may just have to coordinate with you and just start doing as many trades as possible in the next few days or in the next few weeks, because you still have the experience to worry about anyways. So, but either way, that's been my week so far, and that's. I've been excited nevertheless. Now the grind, as much as I want it to be over, I just know that Pokemon Go is always going to give me a throwball in the next few years and be like, yep, here's level 60, good luck. I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so with that being the case, let's move on to the events that happened last week. So we did say that we wanted to give our rating to the Water Festival event, which was the comeback event for this year. Overall, I think that I can give it a solid 9 on the whole Water Festival. What about you, Chris?
The water event, easily a 9. I would say, at least for me, closer to 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that would have made it better for me personally is if Lapras could have spawned in the wild.
It could, but not with the bow.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, somebody actually put it out on Twitter the other day. So
yeah, I feel like if we had Lapras with a bow, a little bit more accessible. I did find some quests with it, but just something that it would just be easier to come across than in a raid.
Right.
But at the same time, I didn't think the raids were too hard. I didn't think they spawned at horrible odds.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was the worst shiny hunt. But yeah, that was my only qualm, was that it wasn't in the wild.
Yeah, again, it's not bad because it was still as free as they wanted to be. It wasn't just like in abundance of them around, and if not at that point, everybody would have gotten one of the shinies anyway. So people were grinding for it as much as they could. However, some of them did, some of them didn't. That's how it is. But yeah, the Water Festival, pretty good. I love the spawns, love the shinies. We'll definitely get into the next event pretty soon. Yeah, I know, right? But then it comes Community Day. Again, solid Community Day, not too bad. I wish it would have been a little bit better weather, but hey, it is what it is when it comes down to it. Did you actually play outside, or were you just at home?
For the calm day, I was stuck at work.
Well, yeah, it was the hours of 11 and 2. We could probably give our thoughts when it comes to that, but we'll see what the next announcement of calm days are. So,
yeah. Other than that, not too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's you, so it's not like it was like one of the most important things in the world,
Yeah, trust me, I wasn't losing sleep out of getting out of work early.
Yeah.
For the water event, though, I do wish I would have capitalized on the double candy more. But I will say I did, go around and try to get as many of those Dupiders that I could. So I wouldn't have to use rare candies as much on Dupider.
Yeah, not too bad on that either. So, yeah, it is what it is in the end of the day. So we'll definitely give our thoughts on the season itself next week, since it is basically over by that point anyway. So tune into that, because the season of Alola is ending, and that means that we are a week away from a brand new season, a brand new summer for a lot of us, because it is approaching fast enough. But we'll get to that when we get to that next week for sure. All right, next is our research topics of the week. We got a lot of news, like I said, a lot of miscellaneous, a lot of interesting news, a lot of things that we are having now be using. But what is the first thing that we're going to talk about, Chris?
Well. We can now gift event tickets to friends. And we saw that, just get introduced literally for this Calm Day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's an interesting selection when it comes down to it, and it's actually kind of fun, because just like you and I, we want to give out to the community when we can, and tickets like this are actually pretty good. It comes with a plus, but there is also one downside that we'll get to it in just a moment. So the gifting part of things, you'll be able to gift your friends a ticket to any of the, the community days that we're going to be planning in the next few weeks or in the next few months. And when it comes down to being, you just go into the in-game shop, go to where the ticket usually would be, and then instead of buying it, you gift it. You can gift up to 20 tickets, and then it will cap you and say, hey, you can't do this anymore, or can't more anymore. That's good, because you don't want to overspend when it comes down to it, and you still have to buy your own tickets. However, this is the downside to it. The only way to gift somebody a ticket is you have to be great friends with that person. Meaning that you have to have 2 Hearts of interactions, or at least 7 days interactions, to be able to gift anybody any type of ticket. Which makes it a little bit more difficult. But if we know what we're going to be doing, and if we already plan community days in advance, we should be able to get those steps in before the actual community day happens. So the purchase is complete. They send you a letter, a cool little letter, and then that will be received, which can be declined. Although I don't know if you get your refund from it, so so be careful.
That's an interesting point of yeah.
Yeah. So
somebody else try that.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, I'm not wasting $1. $1. Anyways. But yeah, so pretty cool feature. I guess they are trying to incentivize that if they want to join with other friends and be like, hey, you want to play community day with me? Oh, I don't have the ticket. I'll go ahead and give it to you. Kind of thing in the end of the day. Yes, we will go ahead and talk about that in just a moment and our thoughts about it. But we're just going over the news. So that's ticket gifting again. A little miscellaneous when it comes to it. We knew it was coming, kind of thing. And finally live, we're there and there. But this next news, it's definitely the ones that we want to talk about, because it is the next event and probably the final event of the Alola season. And that is, of course, Chris, what is it?
Well, even though we've already been going on with the Alola event, we're going to celebrate the season of Alola during the Alola to Alola finale event. And a lot of people forget, me included, that Alola does not just mean hello, it also means goodbye. I learned that from Lilo and Stitch.
Okay. But yeah, so Alola to Alola is basically saying goodbye to Alola. We're saying bye to the incredible season that we had. Not as incredible as I thought it would be, but hey, some incredible things happened during that time.
It was an incredible surprise.
Yes, no, definitely. 7, honestly. Yeah. So this will actually start on Wednesday, May 25th, so a couple of days from now, until Tuesday, May 31st, which is of course the end of the month and the end of the season. Before the season Alola ends, we are planning one close to season that's out in style. During the Alola to Alola event, trainers can embark on a branching special research story that offers different tasks and rewards based on the path you choose. So, season end of the Alola, if you completed all 4 research, you will unlock a bonus end of the season special research story, which is kind of cool. Reminiscent of your favorite Alola regions, or Alola islands of the regions, I guess what it is. The special research story will let you pick between the Mele Mele Island, Akala Island, Ula Ula Island, and the Pony Island, and enjoy different tasks and rewards based on your selection. Now, if you haven't completed the research, or any of the research prior to this, you can buy the special research, the end of the season special research, for $4.99 in the shop. At least you get to that point. I know Chris is already making some weird stuff about this, but here's how it goes.
Yeah. I'm like, which island am I picking? I don't know.
Yeah, so it says right here, trainers obtain the end of the special research story by completing the 4 individual paths. Will be able to purchase a ticket in the shop with no additional rewards. It is what it is. So this is a branching research. Now we'll go over what each one of them is gonna reward when it comes down to it. So if you go the Mele Mele Island paths, this is the things that you can expect to be rewarded with, such as puffins or 2 puffins, a lore module, 4 lucky eggs, an encounter with Alola Raichu, a pom-pom style Oricoro hat avatar item, and more. So maybe a couple extra experience and things like that. So it comes down to it. And of course, the Alola Raichu can be shiny. Simple as that. The Akala Island path will run you with an instance, 2 incubators, the super incubator, an encounter with Alola Marowak, which is going to be shiny, and the power style Oricoro hat, and more when it comes to that. The Ula Ula Island special research will award you with a Glacier lore, a Magnetic lore, 4 instances, an encounter with Alola Vulpix, a Bailey style Oricoro hat, and more. And then the Pony Island, which is the last one, will award you with a Rocket Radar, 3-star pieces, a Premium Battle Pass, an encounter with Alola Executor, a Sensu style Oricoro hat avatar, and more. Chris, your thoughts, please.
I will say all of these are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I would choose the first one if I didn't already have a Shundo Alolan Raichu.
All right.
But other than that, I feel like I gotta be leaning towards Ula Ula or Pony. And right now, I think I kind of want to get Pony just because I like the hat more, to be honest.
The hat is pretty cool. And kind of with Alola Publix is not bad. We had already a full event with Alola Executor, so it's really not something that I want from the Pony Island.
Yeah.
Plus the 3-star pieces. I will say
those lures and the incense are pretty dope for Ula.
I mean, it seems like a little more enticing, and Alola Publix is still a favorite no matter what. So even though it's been a while in shinies and all that when it comes down to it, so. Akala is also pretty good, especially because they do give you the super incubators, which I'm always advocate when it comes to hatching eggs anyways. So I kind of want more, as always. But it's not too bad when it comes down to it. Of course, the pink hat, the red hat, and of course more other rewards that we'll definitely know once they actually get released on those days. But
I do find it interesting that it appears that you can get more than one ticket to do each island.
Yes and no. I cannot be sure for sure until we actually get to it. It will be cool.
Okay.
But I don't know if I want to spend $5 for the other ones.
Yeah, no, I'm not spending $5 for another hat.
Yeah, no, it's fine. With that being said, of course, those are the rewards. Make sure you choose wisely. If you are listening to the podcast, this actually goes live, I think, the morning of. So if you go into podcast services feeds and you listen to us, you will definitely be able to get going when it comes to it. So make sure you listen to the podcast by then. Or if you're here, thank you for joining us as always. The Alola Team Collection Challenge is coming, and we'll complete it. We'll make progress to your Elite Complete Medal with 15,000 experience, 15 Ultra Balls, and encounter with Rockruff. Okay, so at least something like that is possible if you don't want to rate it. Now, this is the interesting one part of the event, and please, to God, if you're actually listening to this, please listen well. In celebration of the season of Alola, you'll be able to evolve Cubone during the event to get the Alola Marowak that knows the charge attack Shadow Bone.
Bro.
So.
Oh my.
Yeah, so one Pokemon that is completely rare right now is the shiny Shadow Cubone from a Team Go Rocket leader, Cliff. But that being said, a Shadow version with Shadow Bone and at the same time being the Alolan Marowak version makes it kind of powerful if you think about it. Chris, any thoughts on this?
The PvP possibilities. So it has been possible to encounter Alolan Marowak in the wild from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, you could get 0 attack Alolan Marowak, but you'd have to get really, really lucky. So, if anyone's been holding on to some Cubones that they want to evolve into a Marowak, they're definitely going to be second guessing which one they evolve it into now.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I really like Alolan Marowak. It's definitely a staple in the Great League.
Oh yeah.
It's got very much versatile attacks. So yeah, highly recommend getting a shadow version of this if
Yes.
possible.
Yes, definitely. So make sure you do as many as you can. If you can find as many clips, and of course, if you get the shiny, you can flex on us on our Twitters if you want to. So I'm sure
Yeah, I
Chris will
got a
be.
Shundo.
Yeah, I know, right? That's so good. Oh my god, that would be crazy. Or a shadow too. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
I'd be screaming.
At that point, I'd be like, yep, I'm done. Peace out. Good night. Of course, you got to be incredible lucky when it comes down to them. Anyways, the Alola to Alola still follows up with the wild spawns. The Alola Rattata, Cubone, Rowlet, Litlin, Poplio, Pipicat, and Jungus will be available in the wild alongside Alola Meowth and Alola Executor if you're lucky enough. Some of them can be shiny, some of them can be not. As for raids, we do have the 1-star raids with Alolan Rattata, Alolan Geodude, Alolan Diglett, Alolan Grimer, and Rockruff. 3 stars will have Alolan Raichu, Alolan Executor, and Alolan Marowak, which I hope that actually has its moves. And the 5 stars will have every Tapu available in 5-star raids, so you get lucky if you want to. Spawns and raids, they're not looking too enticing, but we'll talk about something else in a moment once we get to that point. But yeah, those are the raids. 7K is also having a shake-up this event, and of course you'll have a 7K pool of Alola Rattata, Dewpider, for Mantis on Rangaroo, Alola Meowth, Alola Grimer, Alola Sandrew, Vulpix, Diglett, and Stuffle. I forgot to say Alola, but who cares at this point? I know, right? The bonuses for this event will actually be 2 times Stardust from opening gifts, which is not bad when it comes down to it.
I like it.
More Stardust for everybody. The following encounters on field research staff will be, of course, Rowlet, Lithium, Poplio, Pipicat, and Yungoos. So maybe they'll just be easy ones in the end of the day. And then the avatar items will give you access to the Rowlet backpack, the Lithium backpack, and the Poplio backpack. And I can confirm that I want that Rowlet backpack right there. So
I would, but I gotta get the Litten just for the Valor colors.
I would choose Poplio, but I don't want to look like a clown. So.
Oh my!
Nah, the Rowlet looks pretty cool. Anyways, I like Rowlet just because it's my favorite out of the generation.
I was gonna say, like other than Rowlet just being dope,
yeah.
I know a lot of people are wanting to pick it because of the anime.
Yeah. It's a lot the same, and it comes down to it. Also, Drowsy just likes to hypnotize me half the time. But anyways. But yeah, that is the Alola to Alola event. Looks to be an enticing Alola season event, which at this point, it's just basically just if you didn't get what you wanted in the last few months, this is your chance. So good luck. That being said, let's move on. This next one, Chris. What we got?
Any primers in chat? Oh my gosh. Pokemon Go and Amazon Prime Gaming team up to bring exciting rewards to Amazon Prime members.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're a Amazon Prime person, you already have it because you like to buy stuff on Amazon. Here's another reason to have it. You're actually going to get stuff in Pokemon Go thanks to it.
Yes. So when it comes down to it, Amazon Prime has been a staple in the gaming community when it comes down to it, especially on Twitch. If you have an Amazon Prime account and link it to either Twitch and now Pokemon Go, you get rewards based on a lot of different things, plus a free sub in Twitch. Please use it here, guys. Thank you. Anyways, with that being said, of course, Pokemon Go basically, combining their Prime experience and things like that will actually help out a lot of trainers. So starting already since the beginning of this announcement, you are able to go into the website itself or the Prime Making Pokemon Go page and actually access your account to redeem codes, which, you'll be able to redeem for very many different items. And it comes down to be things like, Pokeballs, Max Buys, and more. It's been kind of lackluster still, but hey, free items are free items. So if you have the ability to get free items, go ahead. And of course, every 2 weeks in Pokemon Go will actually include more and more items when it comes around it. So yeah, we're excited. Bonus items are always better. So
yeah, we like it.
Like it. With that being said, we do have, of course, the same thing with now that they have Amazon Prime Gaming and Pokemon Go. They're collaborating with prime students to bring exclusive interactive experience in selected universities. This basically means, they are, I think, rewarding more items in the places where they mentioned here in the blog post, starting on May 21st, which of course was during Community Day. The ambassadors of the Prime or the Amazon Prime student ambassadors will be handing out swag at selected universities from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. local time. If you get some swag, of course, let us know. One of them being, of course, in Seattle University, California Davis, California Los Angeles, California San Diego, and California Santa Cruz.
It's all California.
Yes, all in the places that we cannot be because unfortunately, we live 6 hours away from them, anyways.
6 hours, dude. Like 6 hour flight would be a dream to California.
I mean that
I feel like it'd be
I
more
took a
than
flight
that.
to California a while back, and it was like 6 hours.
What?
It was a one.
Maybe my guys are just slow.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's somewhere of like that, at least for us. But anyways, if you are able to get some swag, let us know, of course, on Twitter, and we'll check it out for you guys. We are ramping on through the news, and there is actually some interesting features coming to Pokemon Go. And we'll talk about this in more detail. I know a lot of people actually want us to talk about this. So, new social features, as well as an update to in-person raids, and more. So, this is definitely going to be read from the blog post, so sorry if I'm actually talking a little bit robotic. So, here we go. Trainers, today we're announcing a new social feature to help bring people together to enjoy Pokemon Go. A new bonuses for participating in local raid battles and changes to items in the in-game shop. The new social feature, which is now in the beta section, some which are based on the separate Niantic app, has been tested over time and will be available in Pokemon Go sometime in the next few months. Our hope is that these features will make it easier for trainers to communicate with each other, discover new communities, and enjoy local raid battles. We know that this feature is much needed, and we look forward to making the social experience even better over time. As for this month, Mega Energy and Rare Candy XL are available as rewards for completing local raid battles, making it easier to evolve and train your Pokemon. Also, and let me emphasize this, starting on May 23rd, the shop's one Pokecoin events box will no longer include the remote raid passes that will instead feature a rotating array of items. And they end with this, of course. Trainers all over the world have helped Pokemon Go continue to thrive and grow over the past 2 years. Now we're excited to get back into playing together in person. To support players who have difficulty reaching gyms, we'll continue to work on solutions such as tools for community leaders to organize local events and faster approval for new gyms. With that being said, let's break this down piece by piece. So first and foremost is the new social feature that Niantic is trying to launch. It's basically a separate app from Pokemon Go, but it integrates with both Ingress, Pokemon Go, the now declined, unfortunately, Wizards Unite game, and Pikmin Bloom, which is the other Niantic gaming when it comes down to it. The features actually look pretty cool. It's basically saying, hey, I'm in this part of the area who wants to coordinate some raid time, local communities, or things like that. It's easy to find other players. And since you also can be Niantic friends, you can be easily to be able to message, I guess, when it comes down to it. I don't know if you are able to directly message the people, but there will actually be groups of players or groups in the app itself where you can actually communicate with other people that way, more and so than just I'll be here, things like that, or I'll start a raid battle, things like that. It's a little more in depth. There are, of course, some concerns when it comes to this, but we're not going to be talking about that. I feel like this is more of a good feature that seems like to actually strengthen the communities in Pokemon Go. I'm happy that they're doing something like this. Any thoughts on this for you, Chris?
Yeah. So at least starting out, Discord was basically a necessity when it came to Pokemon Go raiding.
Yeah.
That's how I got to know you. That's how I learned about a lot of the raids happening in the area we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So having one directly in the app, that people don't have to download a whole nother app for is fantastic. I'm definitely into it. I don't think there's that many concerns with it. So I'm definitely interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah. Well, if you
You
go
know,
into actual like let's say your friends list in Pokemon Go right now, and if you just scroll to the little Niantic balloon on the top right, when it comes down to it, you're taken to your active games that you have played and what you are be doing in the game. And a lot of people can actually see and do this if you actually just coordinate with other ones. I think if you go to a specific person profile under your friends list, you can see their progress in Pokemon Go and what other games in Niantic Social has actually done it. Now, the concerns that a lot of people are actually saying is saying that they want to, of course, kill the whole online community, which is not true, and that there's a lot of reasoning for it, for sure. I know Papercut right now in the chat is saying something like this. They might want to kill Discord. No, Discord is always going to be there. It's because Discord is not just for Pokemon Go. It's for a lot of different things, and we have developed a lot of different things that actually helps when it comes down to it. There's actually a collaboration and a sponsorship that we'll talk about just a few moments when it comes to this specific feature. But this feature itself, I think it's a great new tool for us to be able to finalize or at least say, hey, I'm lucky friends with you. Let's coordinate our lucky trade. Let's meet up somewhere in the community and be like, hey, let's do this and do that. I have a lot of friends that I don't know where the hell are they. And at this point, I feel like if we actually find them through the actual lab, it will be amazing for a lot of different things that you want to coordinate in the future and meet new people. I think meet new people, maybe all people that you have met before too. So there's that. The second part of all this is how the changes over the in-person rates. So Mega Energy and Extra Large Candy will be available as in-person rates. I can confirm that you can get an Extra Large Candy from doing a 1-star rate in person. That being said, this is a great addition to an actual way to, one, make the community wanting to go out and actually do the raids, and two, help us get the Pokemons that we need to level up to level 50s. Because, it's always been a problem to get the extra large candy for any Pokemons that we do. Any thoughts on this, Chris?
I definitely think it's a fantastic way to try and get people, getting out there and wanting to raid. I definitely see where they're getting at. I just think they changed a few things a bit early.
Right. And what is Chris is mentioning here is that aside from the change and the announcement that said that the one remote raid pass every week is going to go away from the one Pokegold coin, they have actually increased the pricing of the remote raid bundle from 250 coins up to 300 coins. There is one and two things that I have to know that we have to talk about this. First and foremost, when they announced remote raiding and remote passes in overall, they did say that the passes were going to be on a discounted price. The remote raid pass is still 100 coins. I don't know if they're going to go up, but that still feels like a discounted price because it's the same as a premium battle pass. And you can do the same thing when it comes to the raid part. As for the bundle, it does make sense because it's technically just a bundle of 3 for 100 coins each instead of like a more discounted price of 250, which basically gains you like 50 coins difference in that point. But still, it's basically at full price right now. For us, at this moment, we're not sure if it's going to go up or any of those in particular. With that being the case, though, there is another special box that was added. Now, if you know, we always have these special boxes right now, and they're still in their Christmas features, which I don't know why they kept it that way. But if you go to the special 250 coin special box, you can see that they're actually doing 2 remote raid passes and a premium battle pass for 250 coins especially. So if you think about it, they're not taking away the feature of 250 coins for the whole 3 passes. They're giving you the same amount of passes, just one of them being in person. So is it really a loss if you're basically doing the same thing? Any thoughts on Chris?
I will say I did not know about the special box before. I definitely see where they're getting at. They want to get people out there and, raiding together again. Love that. I think what they did was change too much too quickly. Just the fact they're taking away that 1 coin free remote pass,
Yeah.
and a lot of people seeing it as them upcharging, price gouging
Yeah.
on the remote
Or
passes in the
inflation.
shop for the three.
Yeah.
Even though they did say that it was really a discounted price, so it'd be
Yeah.
easier for people to raid while COVID and everything was a thing.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I'm definitely disheartened that I won't be able to buy remote passes and raid from my house. When I'm invited for the cheap price of 250 Pokecoins. But in all honesty, it is the same as me just buying a regular pass if I was in person.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
so I don't see much of a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's actually one more thing that a lot of people are actually not taking into account. They're just basically saying, "Hey, this is Niantic's way of saying fuck f you," and just buy the
Yeah.
and kind of thing. That's basically what people are actually saying. It's like you guys are making it harder for me to actually do what I want. It's like, and this is going to be like probably the most constructive thing that I'm actually gonna say. At least the feature has not been taken away. That's number one. Number two, we still have the remote damage from doing remote raids when you invite somebody. So they haven't taken the feature away. They just make it a little more pricier, and we still can do the remote raids as being in person, without having to worry about not having enough people to do the raid with only 5 people depending on where you are. It's still there. It's never gonna go away. At this point, I don't think it's gonna go away. It's just gonna be toned down a lot from what it was. And also, if you're actually joining us for the first time, or you have been a new player since the pandemic, we understand you're used to this kind of thing because it's there since you started playing the game back in 2020 when all of this was happening and all the changes were happening. And we make sense. It's not something you're used to. It's just not the way that Niantic has intended to be. And a lot of things shifted throughout the last 2 years. We're trying to sift back, and we know that there's going to be a lot of repercussion from the player base saying, this is not how you should do it. But how else do you want it to be? You can't basically just have everything in the game and feel like you can play the way that you want to. It's how it's supposed to be envisioned, how Pokemon Go is really envisioned at this point. Now, yes, I am a little bit hardened on about all that. I just feel like it's not such a big deal because, again, for me, who has been playing this game for 6 years now, it doesn't seem to be taken away too much out of the game when it comes down to it.
Niantic is not afraid to rip off band-aids.
Definitely not.
That very clear recently.
Definitely not. I do say that Niantic can have some weird understanding of their data when it comes to how people play the game and how they can make a lot of mistakes when they can. I mean, unfortunately, it is Niantic. We know how Niantic has worked for the last 6 years. We know how bad sometimes things can be or how ripoff can be in the end of the day. But it is something that we have to get back to it. And I'm going to advocate to the whole in-person communities, in-person raids, in-person things, because I know I experienced it in the last 6 years. And, it's something that has been missing in the life of Pokemon Go for that reason. So as much as things can go on for a little bit longer, just like Chris says, we have to take that band-aid off. We have to face our fears and finally get to a more stabilized Pokemon Go experience as we see them. We were back on safari zones. We were back on community days. We're soon to be back on GoFest events after 2 years, and it just feels like we're finally returning to what we know is normal as a community. Right?
I mean, at a point, remote raids and everything became the new normal, and I think that's why people feel so hurt by Niantic changing it back. But I do know that we've said multiple times that Pokemon Go and Niantic made pretty clear when they came out with remote raids that all the bonuses and the price was going to be something that wasn't going to be permanent. Um, so it was only a matter of time,
Yeah,
to be
and
honest.
yeah, it's. I feel like we're at the end of how things should be like reverting back. More like at the end of what these special bonuses are. Everything that I've been to saying, remote rating, distance trades, or at least 40 kilometers distance trades, uh, incest, 6 hour community days, things like that. They're being nice, but it takes a toll on how the game used to be. And I don't feel like I want to fully go back to what it was because I know it never will be the same. I just feel like in the end of the day, we have to make a what's the right word I'm looking for? We have to actually like turn the other side of the coin back again in the favor of in-person play. It's not going to be the same because we can still invite as many people as we want to things like raids and things like that. But there's no point of doing community days outside if you're just gonna sit on your couch and catch whatever you want to. It just doesn't make sense. It's not a point. It's not the point. And you can prepare as much as you want to. I know there's a lot of people who are really affected by a lot of these changes. And unfortunately, just like we have said before, we cannot please everybody. We are not there to be the advocate for everybody. As bad as the changes may be, we still have to see what Pokemon truly is. Pokemon Go truly is. That's how I see it, at least. So I hope that, I hope that a lot of people can see it my way. If not, I understand. But yeah, the case in point being, let's try to still be a great community, even with how things are going to change from here on out. All right. With that being said, and not being more, serious about things, hopefully not. Let's talk about, before we actually talk about the set, let's talk about the Silt sponsorship that was just announced
Okay.
by Pokemon Go, actually. And just to correlate with the Niantic social feature that they are talking about. So, the Silk Road, which has been an advocate of Pokemon Go since the beginning of Pokemon Go history. The one app, the one website that has always been there for the player, and the one website that has expanded from just being a research tool to a community tool to a PvP role to now being a sponsor with Niantic, and how has changed. It will change a lot of different things. Now, this was a long time coming, Chris. Silt Arena needed, I feel like it needed this since probably the first year, just because of how strong that website and the people who run that website truly is. Just how insane it goes when it comes down to it. Now, this is the blog post where they actually talk about this. So it says, Niantic has decided to announce a new sponsorship with the Silk Road, a grassroots network for trainers whose community spans the globe. So yeah, I mean, the Silk Road is everywhere. So, Silk Road has acted as the hub for Pokemon Go players to connect with each friend, with each other, find local communities, participate in meetups, and trainers since the game's beginning. We recognize the incredible contribution they made to countless communities, so we are thrilled to partner with them to help reconnect local communities and shift focus to IRL play, in-person race, or in-person play, basically. How it benefits the player? So, ensuring the Silk Road stays ad-free. So the website itself will be basically getting a little bit of money from Niantic. It said, okay, here you go. Make sure your website is free for all players. You don't have to go through specific websites or put ads or anything like that. So that's actually going to be amazing, both including the siltroad.com and silk.gg. So the Silk Arena is also going to have this benefit. Development of new ways to connect players and each others. We're creating new ways for players to meet, play, and talk to each other to help reconnect local communities and create avenues for Niantic to support them. This actually correlates with the announcement of their social feature, because it kind of feels like it's the same of what the Silk Road has been advocated for the longest time. I feel like they've been working together with them, and this is the way for them to really coexist and work together at that point. And then a new community ambassador program created and maintained by Niantic will be working with the Silk Road to launch a brand new program that provides perks and rewards for active communities and their leaders who run their in-person events. Keep an eye peeled for more news on this program and how you can join. So, now that we broke it down a little bit, any thoughts on this, Chris?
Yeah, I think this is well earned by Silph Road. I personally was using them, when we were trying to figure out what nests were all around. It was a great starting point. Sylph.gg has always been the PvP scene, even though I was a bit weary of them at the beginning. They've definitely shown that, they put in the work. And I will say this definitely makes Niantic look better.
Yeah.
Because, it shows that they're, keeping an eye on the community. Mm-hmm. They're actually, keeping with the community here. They're going to get a lot of input, I'm sure, from Sylph. I personally think it's a fantastic addition.
Yes.
To the sponsorships that they're doing.
Yeah. Now, of course, we talked about how the Silph Arena, SylphGG, is keeping its free a free website for all the players. So it has helped them to be able to maintain the communities that have grown since even before the pandemic started. Silph Arena has been a great tool to begin PvP. If you really want to be a leader or something like that when it comes to the PvP community, you go to the Silph Arena to actually compete in their monthly tournaments and the regionals and things like that. Which, if you think about it, this could actually also correlate and help us, or at least help the community be a more diverse, like restricted meta community when it comes down to it. Just the same thing that Silph Arena is doing. Maybe Pokemon Go can actually take a bite of that and be like, hey, if you want to participate in some kind of like local events, make sure your community is doing it, and they'll use the Silph Arena as a base form for all communities for PvP and everything like that. So I like it. I really do like that this is a step in the right direction for the community. Now, the new ambassador program. Now, we don't have a lot of news when it comes down to it. The announcement was kind of like small and neat when it comes down to it. But the way that I see it, at least in the speculation size, I see this as the active members of the community, maybe the level 50 players, the ones that run most of the events out there, and be like, hey, we want to help you run your community to a more in-person real-life event. Tell us how to do it. You're the leaders of the community. Join us to see how you can create that type of community, I see it that way at least, but we're not entirely sure or even know how to actually access it. I do want to be part of it if that's the case. Now that I'm level 50, I feel like I'm actually, a leader for everybody. But yeah, I do want to actually get to the point where I actually can create a wonderful experience and bringing everybody together at that point. But any more thoughts on this, Chris? Anything more that you might want to say?
No, not too much. Definitely excited about it though.
Yeah, definitely. And then one last piece of news, if we can get to it. I don't know why I closed that, but okay. We have more information about the new Pokemon Go set that's coming in July. A couple more cards has been spoiled. And there was actually an interesting mechanic the Pokemon Go set is actually bringing into the fall. So I'll let Chris talk a little bit more about this.
All right. So we actually got to see a few of the Pokemon Go cards. I don't know if it was on accident or on purpose. But I've seen multiple videos about it. It's pretty much all over the place. If you don't want to hear about it, I would skip ahead about a minute or two.
Right.
But we've seen Melmetal VMAX, the trio of the birds, which we kind of knew was going to be in there because they're literally the leaders. They're the icons of the different teams in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
We knew Blissey and everything was in there, but there's a really cool gimmick where certain Pokemon, at least Bidoof, is going to be, transforming. Oh, it's actually a Ditto when you peel off the Bidoof, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Love to see that. People that already opened the TCG love that idea. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So definitely going to be a fun gimmick. I will say that.
That's for sure. Now, I was actually trying to look for the actual video where they show this specifically, and this is originated from the Pokemon TCG Instagram account. So
Okay.
this is actually official from them, which is what's interesting. But yeah, let me see if I can get it going. So here it is. They show you the cards that were already been spoiled. Radiant Eevee, Mewtwo VMAX, a Bidoof, the Pokestop card, which we talked about, the Melmetal VMAX, which I knew was coming. And then here is the cool mechanic. You actually get to peel off the plastic of a card, revealing a Ditto, which is kind of cool, you know? It's like, have we ever had anything like this in the Pokemon set?
No.
No?
No. The only thing I'm personally concerned of right now is if the sticky part that peels off hurts the Ditto card in any way. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But it looks like the card isn't damaged. It's definitely really fun. I will say that.
My concern with that, in the end of the day will be how well the printing is gonna go with that card.
I'm mostly worried over time.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Now, if you are somewhat of a collector or things like that, you can always find as how many actual peel-off Dittos you'll actually be able to get. As you saw in the video, you can look at on the bottom left where there is a little Ditto and it says, just like Pokemon Go, because it's Pokemon Go.
Don't be peeling all your cards.
Now,
don't be peeling your Radiant Charizards.
I know, right? I do believe that some cards are going to be stayed away from the Ditto transforming part, which is, the more rarer cards of the set, things like that, you don't want actually to have a peel off of it.
It should just be the Pokemon that transform into Ditto in Pokemon Go.
Right.
It should just be that.
Yeah, so, things like Bidoof, I think, I don't know, what other things you should...
Yeah, I don't know which other ones are in the set right now.
Yeah, no, we're still blind in a lot of things.
Bidoof. Yeah. It's not going to be the rare cards. It's not going to be a V-Star.
Or a Rainbow, or maybe an alternate art, if there is one. I hope so. But yeah, so just be look out for more news when it comes down to it. It's still pretty good to go. All right, we're running a little bit long, but we still have more news and more things. But here we go, PvP section. All right, so the new season is basically about to end, or about to start. This interlude season, as we talked last week, is that, have things really changed in the Pokemon Go scene when it comes to GBL and things like that? We have seen, a major change to having the championships going around the world right now. People qualifying for Worlds and for the Pokemon Go aspect. Things like that. It's just amazing to see. I think that's one of the reasons why they wanted this interlude season, because they don't want to make a lot of changes when it comes to the competitions that are out there that really do make the metas stronger or smaller when it comes down to it.
Yeah, especially not right at the end of a season, pretty much.
Correct. However, though, we did get quite a bit of teaser today specifically with Pokemon Go. And this is something that we kind of were expecting.
Oh, we called it.
We called it.
Yeah, we called it.
We called it. So a little teaser from Pokemon Go. I'm trying to make sure that volume is not too high. If you saw that little video, and of course you only heard it through the podcast services, the video actually states that a Mega Kangaskhan is battling a Blastoise in the PvP arena that we all love and share. So that means the Mega Pokemons are coming into GBL from here on out. Now, how are they gonna do it? We're not sure, because this is only a teaser. However, we're still trying to figure out how, levels and everything is gonna coexist. This last week, we do have the final part of the season, which is all 3 leagues available in the meta. And we have the Go Battle Day, which is the next Sunday coming up, which should have the mega surprise. I'm sure that they're going to give us a little more information in the coming days. We'll definitely be keeping a lookout on those informations, posted on our Discord, or not Discord, but Twitter services and things like that. And then, of course, by the next podcast, we'll have more full information about that. But hey, that means the Mega Pokemons are coming into PvP, which is actually seem pretty cool. We just don't know how it's really going to go forward to. Any speculation on that, Chris?
If I had to guess, I'm still going to be sticking to what I said before. I think it's going to be a Master League kind of format where you're able to use Mega Pokemon in its own format.
Ooh.
I don't think it's going to be anything like, open Master League where out of nowhere you're just able to use Mega Pokemon now.
Yeah.
Because I think that would shake up the meta too much. I don't think they're going to have Megas in Great League and stuff like that. I mean, you could use them in Great League.
Right.
If they, opened it up for Great League too, but I really don't see them doing that, at least right away. I think it's basically going to be open Mega Master League. That's how I see it.
Well, Mega Kangaskhan was going against an a Blastoise, and I mean, yeah, I can't say that that's going to be like the hint that they're gonna put in other leagues too. I just don't know if they're really going to change what I think they're gonna change. I don't know. My mind is wandering when it comes down to it. If they're ever going to decrease the ability to use the Megas in other leagues in that point.
I can definitely see them adding that in the future.
Right.
At first, though, I would imagine they just try to make it easy on themselves and only put it in one league. That's the only way I can see it.
Yeah.
And obviously, everyone's powered them all up because they want to use them in raids too. Because that's the only place we've been able to use them so far, right? So
yeah,
that's
sure.
That's just the way I see it.
Yeah, at that point, I probably would have been a little gun ho getting extra large candies for for Latios and Latias, but of course, we'll see how it goes. But I've definitely, if I see Mega Latias level 50 in Master League, I'm gonna be like, oh lord.
I still think Mega Charizard Y with Dragon Breath still kicks its booty.
Yeah.
Just because that attack stat, but only time will tell.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that's actually exciting. Again, we'll probably hear more news in the coming days. And then, of course, the Dumpo news before the end of the month. And the new season, because, a lot of things, like next week is still short of news, and we're definitely going to have a lot of news unless Niantic literally shafts me and literally gives me the news on the last day of the month, which is on Tuesday. So, Niantic, please don't do that. I beg of you. Especially as now that literally, GoFest is also 2 weeks away. So, or at least GoFest Global is 2 weeks away. So
it's so close.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm ready. I need to be ready for this. It's like, I need it. I need it. Anyways, with last being said, the last little piece of things that we got to talk about is Affections update. So go ahead, Chris.
Yes. So we just finished up today, Switch Masters versus Weekend at Burmese, and we lost by 1 point, 11 to 10. I personally got 2-1, so I don't feel too bad about the loss.
Right.
I will say I'm very happy with my teammates,
Nice.
even though we didn't pass this. I do think we're performing in silver tier level. So I if we got sweeped all the way across, only got 1 point or something, then I would be, very deterred. But yeah, I'm very happy with my team. I think next week is going to be a whole new story, and we're going to wreck. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the future. And I mentioned last week that we got sponsored, but I was waiting for it to finalize, and we did get it finalized. So we are sponsored by W Energy now.
Nice. Yeah, very good. Congratulations, guys. W Energy, I guess if you go to the Switch Masters and use their code, you pretty much save 10% on that. So a little free advertisement out of me, because I at least want to get you guys some the advertising going.
Yeah, I'm personally not big on energy drinks normally, but I will say this one definitely looked like one I could get behind.
All
Let me
right.
put it that way.
All
I'm gonna
right.
do a taste test. I'll maybe get you some.
Okay. Hey, I wouldn't mind some free stuff if you can.
I got you.
Okay, cool. All right, well, congratulations, and keep at it, guys. I'm sure that you'll get more level powerhouses out there in your matches. So here's to another season for the factions team. Okay, with that being said, we're almost at the end of the podcast, but we're of course always gonna ask our topic question of the week. Now, again, once we are now in our Twitter services fees and everything, we always ask the question. Last week's question was all about who you want to meet and who are you, or I'm sorry, yeah, who are you excited to meet, and of course, what are you planning to attend, or what GoFest event are you planning to attend? So I know for a fact that I'll be going to Seattle. I'm getting things a little bit more coordinated. We still don't have fully news on the Seattle event, so we're kind of still a little bit aloof in understanding where we are actually going to stay. But we're working on it. I know Chris did mention there's a possibility he cannot make it, unfortunately. But hey,
I'm sorry.
It is what it is. I still be able to do whatever I can to at least give him the joy and pride. I mean, I'll FaceTime him half the time through Discord or something. It's like he'll be out there with us in the end of the day, in some way, shape, or form.
Cardboard cutout.
Yeah, I mean, like, hey, here's my co-host right here.
He's shorter than I remember.
Right? It's like 5 feet down there or something. But yeah, no. So yeah, and of course, just meeting a lot of different people. The Codecast crew, the Lore Up crew. We're gonna have such a fun time. We're still planning on seeing what we're gonna be doing from here on out and what announcements they have. So still out there. But yeah, so this week, that was the last week's. We didn't really get a response, but anyways, thank you so much for at least trying to. For this week's question, we do have, what have you been able to learn more in PvP, or have you have the same aspect of it since we had an interlude season? What are your thoughts, Chris? What do you think that this interlude season have actually, put out for you?
So something I've seen a lot of people say is that they played more during the unranked season.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would just be for people that hit legend or the top rank and they just don't want to play anymore.
Right.
Or maybe at least for me, I'm not really stressed out at losing or anything, because you're just battling to battle at the end of the day in the unranked season. And I've seen a lot of people talk about us needing an unranked battle system for GBL.
Right.
Maybe one where you're able to do an equal amount of unranked and ranked without it interfering with each other. I think that would be really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's been a lot more stress free for the unranked season. While you still want to earn that title of legend.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to be looking forward when the ranks come back, so I can try my hand at that again.
And again, we'll probably have more news about that next week for sure. So bless our hearts. But yeah, again, if you guys want to answer the question, it will be posted on our Twitter feed. Usually I'll try to do it as soon as possible. I'll wait a couple of days until the podcast is fully out in the podcast services feeds, and then everybody has a good chance to be able to go through the entire of the questions. So with that being said, Chris, do we have anything else for the night?
Nah, I think we covered everything.
Wonderful. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you always love to hear us a little bit more, we are in our podcast services feeds. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, many other places that you can always listen to us. If you can leave a review, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you in advance, of course. Our socials will be, of course, the Purified Podcast or at Purified Podcast. Then Chris and I, we do have our own socials just in case. So at Pure Letter Go and Chris at PKNN Trigger, please. You can email us any info or anything that you want to talk to us about. If you can fit it all on a tweet. Purifiedpodcast at gmail.com. And if you want to, you can always join our Discord server for anything Pokemon Go related news or Pokemon in general if you want to talk about more. And don't forget to check us out at the Professor Podcast, I'm already messing things up. PurifiedPodcast.com, the Professor Network. So with that being said, Chris, how about you take us away for the night?
All right. As we're saying Alola to Alola, I will also say Alola to you guys. And we can look forward to catching what is left of the Gen 7 Pokemon that we are getting right now. Hopefully they got some more surprises out there for us. Hope you guys are looking forward to Pokemon Go Fest the same way we are. And get out there, make some friends, and get to catching. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
Keep purifying them. We'll see you guys next week.